Harper Audio presents Number 17 by Jefferson Farjeon. Read by David John. Chapter 1. Figures in the Fog. Fog had London by the throat. It blinded its eyes and muffled its ears. Such traffic as was not at a standstill groped its way with scarcely a sound through the jaundiced streets. And to cross a road was no longer a casual matter, but an adventure into the unknown. For this reason the timid stayed indoors, while the more daring, and those who had no choice, groped gingerly along the pavements. The pickpockets were busy. But it's not in the heart of London that our story commences. The fog had stretched its fingers far and wide, and a man who was approaching along one of the arteries that led Londonwards from the northeast paused for a few moments to rub his eyes and then his stubby chin. "God help us," he muttered, staring into the great gloomy smudge ahead of him. "If that ain't the yellow peril, what is?" He had trudged out of a land of sunshine into a land of white mist, and now the white mist was becoming opaque orange. The prospect was so thoroughly unappetizing that he even considered the idea of turning back. Had he known what awaited him in that gloomy smudge, he would have acted very promptly on the idea. But the future itself is as impenetrable as a fog, and he decided to go on. "After all," he argued to himself, "one place is as good as another when you ain't got nowhere else." So he lit his best cigarette. Barely more than half of it had been smoked by its previous owner, and resumed his way. A figure suddenly loomed towards him out of the mist. "Oi!" exclaimed our traveller, and jumped. His nerves were never at the best, and hunger was beginning to tell on him. But he reacted quickly, and grinned as the figure stopped. "Why didn't you sound your hooter?" The figure grinned too. "A bit thick, mate, isn't it?" said the stranger. "Thick as cheese. Cheese! La me, I wish I had a bit of cheese." "Hungry?" "Not half. You ain't got such a thing as a leg of beef on you, I suppose?" The other laughed. "There's an inn a little way up the road." "Ah! Well, just run back and tell him to put down the red carpet, will you? Ben of the merchant service is a-coming, and he's got fourpence to spend." "Oi! Where you going? Oi!" The stranger had turned and darted off. Ben of the merchant service stared after him. "Well, if that don't take a blooming ticket," he murmured. "Seemed like as if he thought I meant it." Once more an instinct rose in him to turn back. He was just entering the fringe of the thick fog belt, and its uncanniness depressed him. He recalled that the stranger had stood almost next to him, yet he'd not seen his face. Out of the fog he had come, and back into the fog he had returned. A shadow with a voice, that was all. But the glory of the merchant service, however humble your position in it, must be maintained. You could not let it down. Not, at least, until you were sure you were going to get hurt. And after all, what was a little bit of fog? So, deriding himself for his fears, the subtle source of which he was not fitted to understand, he again ignored the kindly warning, and resumed his onward trudge. The thought of the inn a little way up the road certainly did something to dissipate the gloom. Fourpence wouldn't go far, but a friendly innkeeper might make it go a little further. Then he might earn a few coppers by doing something. You never knew. Ben of the merchant service, perhaps it should be explained, late of the merchant service, was not in love with work. The stomach, however, drives. He came upon the inn abruptly. All meetings are abrupt in a fog. It loomed up,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?